out among the infinite layers of reality miles, beyond what the minds dared to imagine, there lived a hero both revered and feared, Callan Voss. In 1,000 universes, his name was whispered as a promise of hope. But, in others, it was a threat scarcely spoken aloud. For Callan was not just a guardian. He was the one hero who could destroy the multiverse itself. In the relative calm of Universe 23, Callan stood atop a fractured spire jutting from a sea of liquid amethyst, watching as sunless clouds twisted above his head. He wore the blue and silver mantle that symbolized his charred the defender between worlds. But tonight, the weight felt heavier than ever. Callan's power was unlike any other. He could taste the threads of reality. In the weave of existence, he could sense the tiniest tremora-dying star in Andromeda, a skipped heartbeat on forgotten Earths. And, in moments of crisis, Callan could reach out with his will and bind or sever these threads. It was this power that had saved worlds, sealed away threats, and even resurrected timelines, snuffed out by entropy. It was also the power that, if wielded unchecked or in pain, could bring the entire multiverse to its knees. For years, he'd held the balance. But every day, the barriers between worlds thinned further. As the edges frayed, those who knew of Callan's unique gift began to bargain, plead, or threaten. "You alone," they said, "can stitch reality, or unmake it entirely." To most, this authority would tempt madness or megalomania. But Callan had always lived by a simple code. Save what can be saved, harm no innocent, never use the loom to destroy. Tonight, the code was no comfort, because tonight there had come a visitor. She called herself Idran, Eternal Wanderer. Between worlds, who wore the likeness of Callan's oldest friend, though she'd died centuries ago in another reality. Idra walked out from the shadows of the spire, eyes shining with the knowledge of countless lifetimes, and offered Callan a warning. Across the multiverse, an anomaly had arisen. Not a villain, not a cosmic beast, but a collapse, something fundamental, a flaw at the root of all creation that threatened to unravel every world, every reality, unless it could be isolated and cut away. The only way to save the multiverse, Idra intoned, her voice echoing with infinite resonance, is to destroy a portion of it. One strand must be severed to spare the whole tapestry. Callan recoiled. You know what happens if a hero intervenes to shape reality by force? Heroes create hope, not cataclysm. But Idra only shook her head, sadness in her gaze. This is no longer a question of right or wrong. It's the only option left. If you don't act, everything dies. Hours passed after her departure, but her words gnawed at Callan's spirit. He summoned the loom, the spectral weave only he could see. Every strand was a universe-brief flickers of color in the endless dark. He found the frayed thread, pulses of agony radiating along its length, threatening to snap and trigger a chain reaction that would shatter the foundation of reality. He could see the futures unfold. Take no action, and the collapse would cascade, reverberating through 1 billion timelines until all were lost. But to intervene, as Idra urged, was to become the thing he feared most, a destroyer, not a protector. The identity of the hero was built on nurturing, rescuing, defending, but now. His hand hovered over a choice, where saving the multiverse meant dooming a countless multitude who would never know why. Across space and time, ripples of dread and anticipation darted through those sensitive to his actions. In parallel realities, would-be allies and bitter foes alike paused. Sensing what came next hinged on one soul's decision. Callan pressed his palms together, forcing himself to remember halves of old promises to those long gone. He called upon counsel, the recording left by his mentor, Aaron Sar, a guardian who once told him, "True heroism isn't saving everyone. It's standing sentinel when the cost is everything, including yourself." He gazed once more at the flickering thread. Could he bear the weight of erasure? Could he justify the ends to the faces who, in this one doomed world, believed in him? Idra appeared once again, silent, urging with her eyes. With trembling voice but steady hands, Callan made his choice. He blanketed the suffering universe with memory, not to destroy its legacy, but to ensure it was never forgotten. He whispered an apology to the billions who'd never understand. Then, gently as a surgeon, severed the thread. The multiverse shuddered. Time lurched. The wounded worlds steadied. Catastrophe reversed. Yet a cold hush swept reality. Somewhere, a song ended that none would ever sing again. Idra's gaze softened, and Kalen fell to his knees, the loom vanishing from his sight. The other Guardians would enshrine his decision as sacrifice or abomination. It scarcely mattered. To Kalan, he was forever changed. He had saved infinite worlds with a single act of destruction. In doing so, he had become the hero who could destroy the multiverse, the one who bore the pain so others could dream. And throughout the boundless sweep of reality, hope flickered anew, tempered by the price of its survival, carried on the shoulders of a hero who would never forget what was lost.